Hello, my name is Dennis Rubin. What an honor it is to be a presenter at FDIC International 2023. I've had a chance to be the former fire chief of both Atlanta, Georgia, as well as Washington, D.C. FDIC this year will begin on Monday, April 24th, and will end on Saturday, April 29th, 2023. And once again, it will be hosted in one of the most wonderful cities in our nation that's great for conferences. And of course, that's Indianapolis, Indiana. It will be held at the Indianapolis Convention Center, as well as the Lucas Oil Stadium, the surrounding grounds, and other venues for the hot training that will be held. About 30 to 35,000 of your closest friends will be there, and there'll be so many great things to do. But I'm hoping you'll take a little time out of your schedule to share with me. In the afternoon on Thursday, April 27th, I'll be presenting a topic that's very important to me, and I hope it's one that you can learn quite a bit from. Particularly, the program's called Lessons Learned from the Fulton County Courthouse Shooting. I had a chance to be the incident commander one day when 3 people would be murdered in an active shooter operation, along with several other serious injuries and 1 critical injury. Before this incident would wrap up and the perpetrator would be apprehended, a 4th person would die at the hands of Brian Nichols that day. With that said, we'll be discussing the case study information and how we handle it, how the operation was addressed. The unified command with our police agencies, as well as the media and other related services that worked that incident in downtown Atlanta that day. For me, I can always remember what I'm going to call the fog of the operation, which the military might call the fog of war. We had a need for a lot of information early to make wise decisions as to put our members' lives at risk, particularly the paramedics and the medical director. And honestly, we didn't have that information. We're going to talk about lessons that were learned and lessons that we knew and they were reinforced. We think it's going to be a great presentation, and we'll also be talking about some of the updated, suggested best practices when it relates to active shooter or violent incidents. We're going to probably have a special guest, most likely, and that's going to be our medical director, Chief Jim Augustine, who is a medical doctor, will be present that day, most likely. I'm worried about his scheduling, but I think he's going to be with us. And he'll talk about the medical perspective of what went on, how we had to triage and treat and track and transport those injured. Many other folks had minor injuries, but of course, the folks that had received gunshot wounds were our first and foremost concern. As I flash back to that day, I was leaving the mayor's office and found Engine 1 responding directly in front of my path on Martin Luther King Avenue. So I followed them. They stopped at a courthouse. And when we got to the Fulton County Courthouse, there was a sergeant that had been shot that was out in the street that we thought that was the end of the incident. And to use a phrase that's often used, pretty much all hell broke loose. The police began arriving in droves. We had to make entry along with them into the building. The belief was the shooter was perhaps still inside, and it really was an interesting and very stressful event that day. So I think you'll learn a lot if you have a chance to be there. And quite frankly, FDIC, without a doubt, is the biggest and the best fire conference that's held in our nation each year. As I mentioned, somewhere between 30 to 35,000 of your friends. There'll be some great networking opportunity. Thousands of folks that will have displays and vendors and other items that you can purchase or see or look at or learn from will be there. Along with some of the nightlife that will be incredible. Pipes and drum band will be present, omnipresent. They'll be doing all kinds of shows and programs. And it's just a great atmosphere to learn, to network, and as well as to relax. While you're there, I hope you stop by the FDIC bookstore. That's another main attraction there. And I would just quickly remind you, 2 of my books will be available. And that will be It's Always About Leadership and DC Fire. Quite frankly, There's a great discount associated with it. I'm not sure what it's going to be, but all textbooks will be at the most reasonable price of the year. And as I like to say, quite frankly, my signatures are free. So stop by, please say hello at the bookstore or come to the class once again on April 27th, which is that Thursday. You're going to have to look up exactly where it's located at, but we're going to have a very interesting session, and especially for the members that have been involved in violent situations. And perhaps I would dare say that's just about everybody in our business nowadays, and we can have a great, robust discussion and learn together. Thank you for your time. I hope that if you have any social media mediums and network that you can add this clip to promote the opportunity to come learn and train about an active shooter event from an incident commander that was on scene from the very beginning to the end. It would be greatly appreciated. And once again, we hope to see you, all of your friends, and all of the firefighters that make it out to Indianapolis at FDIC International 2023 in April. God bless you, stay safe, and thanks for taking a look at this tape. Dennis Rubin signing off for now.